Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial. My name is Marcus and I'm a designer and animator based in London. So today we're going to be designing this poster here. We're going to be using Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. So in Illustrator we're actually going to create these like really nice 3D spheres using the new 3D tool from Illustrator. And then we're going to make like the black and white one, and then we'll bring these elements to Photoshop where we're going to create this composition and like creating these like blur effects just to give it a little bit more of like the illusion of depth. And then we're going to create this really cool like text placement there. So cool, let's just get started then. And the first thing, let's just jump into Illustrator. I already have like this file prepared here. We don't need to worry about the artboard size here because we're going to do the final poster in Photoshop, and we can do that there. So to start, let's just go to our toolbar here and get the ellipse tool. Let's just make like a perfect ellipse. I'm holding Alt, Command and Shift to make it very proportion. And then I'm going to delete using the direct action tool here. I'm going to select this side and then delete it. Sorry. And then I'm going to change the stroke to be white, and I'm going to actually take away the fill. Then we're going to Effects, 3D Materials, and then revolve. Yeah, this is the one. So right now the revolve is revolving to the wrong side. The only thing we need to do is just offset the direction from the right edge. Like just like this. Let's just give it a little moment to think. And now what we're going to do is just like go to our lightning here. We don't need to do anything else here. It's like 360, it is perfect, and everything else is perfect. So let's just jump to lightning. And let's just change to top left here, and then we can actually configure our lightning here a little bit more. Let's just rotate the light. I want the light to be on the top, so maybe I will just try to rotate it and then actually make it look really nice. Maybe I will decrease the weight here, the height here, sorry, and cool. And then here you can control the ambient light. This is quite pretty simple like menu, but you can do so much with it. And next we're just going to click here, just click Ray Trace. Let's put a high quality here and render. So what this does, it actually calculates how, like almost like a 3D software. Like it calculates the lighting and the ray trace, and like you can even make casting shadows, which is really cool. Actually really happy with this. I'm gonna just select this one. Gonna make a copy on the side using Alt and going just to put it here. I'm actually gonna change the color to black. Maybe like not really full black, maybe it's a very dark gray. Just press OK. And just wait for it to render again. And okay, let's just wait for a little bit more. And okay, there we go. Cool, okay, still rendering. Let's just get a drink something. Nice, okay, yeah, cool. So now we have our two elements here. Let's go back to Photoshop. Let's just make a new file here. I'm gonna be using a 1700 by 2400. And I'm gonna press OK. Perfect, and then actually I need my menus back. Going to change the background color to black so it's more easy for you to see. I'm gonna grab this sphere from Illustrator, paste it here. I'm gonna paste it as smart object for now. We can then rasterize it if we need to. But it's nice to have, like, if we need to change the color or something else, it's always nice to have that option. Perfect, it's here, the first one. Let's just get the black one now and just make it like this. Okay, it's rendering again. I think it needs to render when it pastes in Photoshop, which is okay, I think, because then we doesn't need to render anymore in Photoshop. So yeah, cool. Actually, I'm gonna just grab this one. I'm gonna put it on the side here so I can actually have a reference of my example here on my other screen. Just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, cool. And yeah, this is pretty much what we needed from Illustrator. And now what we're going to start to do is just like make it like a little composition with these elements here. I'm gonna press Command T to scale this up and down, just to move it a little bit, make a few copies. Let's just play with the scale as well of these copies, maybe play with the placement for sure. Try to make it like something more like this. Gonna make a black one on the top as well. Cool. I just want to have these two scales for now, just so we have like an idea of what we could do. Next thing we can do now, it's just like create a new layer. Let's control select it here. Let's just make it the fill here blue. Just like something like a nice blue. Let's just backspace an option to fill the blue with a nice color. Something is not right. Okay, let's just creating this new layer. Let's just scale it down to make that frame. Maybe actually gonna change this blue a little bit. Gonna press Command U to get access to the saturation menu here. Try to make it a little bit more saturated. Something like this. Maybe a little bit, even a little bit stronger here. Great. So now we're gonna write our text. So I wrote never. This is definitely not the right font, but never stop. And then I actually put a period here. Gonna scale this a little bit, and definitely gonna change the font. This is the font from another tutorial that I'm preparing. So I think the font I used was PP New Machine. If it was not, I'm definitely gonna use this one now. So I'm gonna make it like a regular one. I'm gonna just change it to white so I can actually see what I'm writing there. Nice. Cool. Let's just scale this font a little bit. Try to center on the frame. And again, I'm gonna select it. And I'm just going to press Command J or Control J in Windows to make a few copies. And then I'm just going to press Command T to drag those copies down here. And do the same thing here. Command T to drag it down. Somewhere like here. Perfect. Sorry, my throat is still I'm still recovering from a cold. And my throat is always making these noises. So next thing, we have let's select the 3 layers here with the text. Let's just press Command E to actually collapse them. And then we Control or Command select them. So you actually can see like it selects what's inside of the layer. And let's go back to our layer 1 here, which is the blue solid. And let's just press delete. And now we can actually see it's this layer is actually like covered, like we make like a hole with the text, which is really cool, which is what creates the effect. So the next thing we need to do is just like make some placements, make like a nice composition with these sphere elements we have from Illustrator. So I'm gonna do this really quick here. I will just make like a little time lapse so I don't take your time while I'm doing this. Cool, I just made like a quick example. The idea is just like to create as many like variation as you can in scale and position, and then you're playing around with like some of behind the text, which creates a really cool effect, some actually in front of the text. So it's just creating like this fake 3D environment that this text lives in. I think I'm gonna just do this last one. Perfect. So the next thing we want to do is just apply like some blur effects to create this like illusion of depth. Like when you're using like a camera and you have like use a very good lens and it creates that defocus moment where like something is really on focus and then everything else is just like out of focus, very blurred. That's what creates like the depth field, and let's just do that with some blurs. So let's just select this front one here and let's go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. I'm gonna use it like maybe like 15 will be alright, like a round number. And then I'm gonna use maybe not on this one, maybe gonna make a new one here. Maybe a new one here. I'm gonna make it 2, apply. So as soon as you apply a filter, it actually stays here, so you can use it again. So you don't need to actually configure it again, which is cool. And let's just do maybe something like here because it's like really far away as well, and maybe not that much though, like a little bit less. Maybe this one deserves a little blur as well. Let's see. Yeah. So this is already looking really cool. Like the idea is definitely creating like this 3D environment scene. And yeah, I think it's design-wise is pretty much there. What the last thing we need to do is just create a new layer. Just press D to reset the colors to black and white here. Fill the layer in black. And let's go to filter. And then find our texture noise here. Just apply 5%, 10% noise today. I'm feeling like very noisy. And then just go to screen. So it actually blends everything really well. Like this noise, like even on more on the darker places. Or you can even like try other blending modes here if you want to. I think the screen normally works really well. Maybe it's too much noise, maybe 10% was a little bit too much, but I can always reduce it in the opacity of the layer. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I think maybe you just change the background color to something more grayish, or even like black works well. But I like to, when you create like a little gray like background, it gives a little bit more, I think, information. And something is happening on this sphere here, the black one. What's happening is like, because this has like a little white edge, which is actually don't like very much. Let's just lock this grain so I can select this one. So the way I'll normally solve this problem is like I select it, use it, the controller command, and then I go to selection, select menu here, modify, and then I contract. Then I try to contract the selection by 2 pixels and then make a mask. So it's really like nicely done. There is no like white edge anymore. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Maybe we can just make a new layer here, make it like a round thing here, just to make like another layer of light, something like this. And then you can just like filter and blur it to, let's make it like very blurry. So it creates like a floor effect or some sorts. It's not necessary, just like a little bit of detail. I don't think I've done this in the example, but yeah. I think it looks really nice. I think it's a really cool technique of using like elements from Illustrator and then assembling everything together in Photoshop. I think the two softwares are very powerful individually, but when you put them together, it's when you actually create really cool work, because then you can like do things that are really easy to do in Photoshop that will be way more difficult to do in Illustrator. Like applying these blurs in Illustrator is possible, but the thing is like it gets so heavy when apply blur in Illustrator because everything is transformed to a vector. And when you move stuff around, it gets really slow, and sometimes like makes the computer slow and then makes you like a little bit more stressed and less creative. So we need to try to avoid like these types of unnecessary stresses. And yeah, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this tutorial, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch the other ones. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the other ones. I'm trying to make it as much variety as I can, because I really like to explore multiple styles. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.